Hello everyone, this is your 5 and welcome to the Cobra Santo toy review. And today's toy review, we're looking at the 2010 release by Mattel of the Toys exclusive DCUC Classics versus the Masters of the Universe Classics 2-pack action figure review. And today's action figure review is a part 1 video, and we'll be focusing our attention on Lex Luthor, the criminal mastermind here. Now, I got this straight from A269, aka Richard, who sent this package, this entire 2-pack, from the US all the way to Malaysia as a gift. I really have to thank you for this, A369, because this is a wonderful gift, because Toys Malaysia don't actually stock any of these 2-packs at all, not even the He-Man versus Superman 2-packs. Only like 1 or 2 shops actually stock those up, and they sculpt the price really high. Last I remember is about 200 ringgit or 200 plus. I'm not entirely too sure, because they sculpt it pretty high and I just ignore it. So let's take a look at the front part of the packaging itself. I really love how they did with the bubble itself, the packaging bubble. One side of the packaging bubble itself has a typical DC Universe Classic style, as you can see here, and in the middle they start to form up to merge with the Master Universe Classic style packaging. Very nice, including the bottom section as well. However, what's interesting in the middle is that it includes a full-size comic of the Master Universe comics, as shown here, which is hidden at the back of the card itself. Very nicely done. It's actually hidden. You have to cut out a portion of the in the middle portion of the image. As you can see at the back of the packaging card, it actually has an image of the Snake Mountain. Very nicely done, but you have to cut that portion out just to get the comic out. Very nice artwork of the Snake Mountain there. It's really kind of sad that you have to cut it out just to get the comic. Now let's focus our attention on one side of the packaging instead of Skeletor. Now here we have Lex Luthor. This is the same Lex Luthor that actually released in the DC Superheroes line. Same figure with no other changes, because I never actually own the DC Superheroes figure because it's really hard to get him. So from what I researched, this figure is exactly the same, except they packed him with 4 kryptonite stones. You got red, green, blue and gold, which I'm going to explain each of their functions later on. Now on one side here you got a nice artwork of Lex Luthor in his power armor. And at the back here, I'm just gonna ignoring this. In the middle, there's a lightning effect there with the versus word. So in the DC Universe Classic on the top, you got a nice image of Lex Luthor, same image on the sides. And his biography, Lex Luthor, criminal mastermind. Real name, Alexander Joseph Luthor. As a super intelligent teenager, Lex Luthor idolized Superboy. While working on a cure for Superboy's weakness to kryptonite, one of Luthor's lab experiments went awry. This caused irreparable damage to his psyche, as well as the permanent loss of his hair. Luthor blames Superman for this accident and has tried many times to destroy him, concocting numerous schemes and weapons. Superman overcame all of Luthor's plots, and Luthor's failures only served to magnify his hatred of Superman. Very nice. So, without further ado, let's open up this packaging and review Lex Luthor. Be right back. And we're back of the review figure, and there is a stuff out from packaging. Now for the comic itself, it's hidden at the back portion of the carded packaging, and it's hidden by this separate piece of a card itself of the Snake Mountain artwork. Yes, it's a card. So at the first glance you wouldn't notice there's a comic in there until you remove the entire packaging, and then you find out there's a smaller tin packaging that's covering the entire card and the comic itself. So you have to cut at the edges there to remove the card and the comic. By removing everything else, you wouldn't ruin the artwork for the carded packaging at the back there. Very nicely done. Now speaking of the artwork, this is the card itself. Very nicely done with the artwork, where the snake is actually vomiting lava or blood if you want to. Very nicely done with the details there. Very nice. For the comic, is an old DC comic, or old reprint of the DC comic of the Master Universe comics itself. Very nicely done. All the colors are recolored into very bright colors. And at the back, MattelCollector.com. Now let's take a look at Lex Luthor's accessory. We have 4 kryptonite stones. We have green that slowly kills Superman. We have red that turns Superman into a jerk or turn him evil. We have blue that actually is a Bizarro version of the kryptonite that harms Bizarro but suppresses Superman's powers and reduces his sensitivity towards a green kryptonite. And we have a gold kryptonite that either removes permanently of a Kryptonian powers, or in the pre-crisis era it would turn any matter into gold kryptonite, or in the modern version it will temporarily suppress Superman's powers. And all of them have the same sculpt and can be placed into Lex Luthor's hand, like so. Speaking of Lex Luthor, we have Lex Luthor here, and we'll take a look at his paint job. And now the paint job is very, very brightly colored in some portion, making this figure very, it stands out a lot. Very nicely done. I really love the head itself. The head paint job is very nice, with the flesh tone skin there. The eyebrows is painted, and the eyes and the pupils are painted as well. He has blue eyes, very nicely done. The entire top section of the torso, the armor itself, is pure lime green plastic, but with a little bit of paint job. There's a little bit shading going on here. The chest itself is also painted. The tubing is painted in orange. You have purple metallic colors going on here. The back portion don't have a lot of detailed paint job, which is a bit sad. The arms and legs and the lower torso here is pure plastic material, but there's a little bit paint job going on, like a pink metallic paint job on the buttons or rivets and tubings. The lower feet here is also painted as well, very nice. The entire belt and the skirt has a little bit paint job, especially on the skirt itself. You've got a really bright colored green there, very nicely done. I really love the paint job, or at least the colors applied onto the figure itself. Very nice. For the sculpt, he is very nicely done with the sculpt. I really love this. That's why I really love DC superheroes. The head sculpt is very nicely done. His forehead and the eyebrows are raised up, and you can see the wrinkles on the forehead. Very nice. Ears on each side is sculpted, very nicely done. Eyes, nose, the lips, very nice. The entire upper torso of the armor is very nicely done, with the overlapping armor parts, the tubings, the symbol in the front. The back portion is also detailed as well. I think this is back thrusters, I assume. Arms with overlapping armors, very nice. The gauntlet and the glove, the belt. The skirt is also very nicely done with the sculpt, as you can see here. Yes, this entire thing, all the lines, all the buttons here are all sculpted, very nicely done. And a separate piece, this is a soft pliable plastic for the skirt itself, very nice. Legs, very detailed stuff with the overlapping armors. The boots as well with the tubings, very nice. And bottom of the boots as well. I really love the amount of details they put on Lex Luthor. Now let's take a look at the figure's articulation. Now this is where it starts to fall down. The head can actually go up and down, go left and right, can turn 360 degrees if you can turn the head 360 degrees, because there's a little bit of room inside the dome itself. But very nice. It can also go side to side, very nice. Torso here can go back a little bit, go forward a little bit, not a lot, and turn 360 degrees. Shoulders here is hindered by the armor itself, so he can barely move forward and back. But if you spread the arms a little bit further out, he can move the arms this far. But you spread the arms, of course. You can spread the shoulders all the way up this far. Upper bicep here turn 360 degrees. Elbow joint here bend this far. The entire gauntlet and glove can turn 360 degrees. Now this is where it gets even really bad, because the skirt is actually hindering the hip joints. So if you want to move the leg forward, he barely able to move the leg forward, back a little bit, sides. Now the lower thigh here has a cut, has a swivel that turns 360 degrees. Knee joint here bend this far. Calf here has a swivel cut that turns 360 degrees. Ankle joint here move forward and all the way down. Very nicely done. Overall, I really love the amount of details they put onto this figure. A lot of details. You can't go wrong with the details. They are very nice, and I love the amount of colors they use for this figure. Lime green, dark green, metallic purple, pink metallic colors. Really nice bright green as well. You got a flesh tone skin going on. Very nice. I really love the colors. Very colorful character, but it still sticks to purple and green there, and it's not all over the place. Very nicely done. What I really don't like is the limitation on the shoulders, the hip joints, and a really weird angle for the ankles. You can see that. But overall, the figure looks really great, and I really am glad on getting Lex Luthor here. Very nice. I've been looking for this figure for quite some time for the DC superheroes, but it's really hard to get this figure in a mint box for DC superheroes line. But thank God for Mattel for actually churning out the twin pack to have Lex Luthor in with the Skeletor pack. I'm really glad, and I thank H269 for sending this awesome figure all the way from the US. Thank you very much. So if I give a rating out of this, I'll say I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for Lex Luthor. And I thank you everyone for watching this video. This is Lucy05, and I'm signing off.